What's up, y'all? Today we are doing an NBA player prop course, and it's gonna be completely free. I should charge for this just because it's like all the knowledge I know for the last like 2 years of NBA betting. But yeah, we're gonna give it to you guys for free. So let's get into it. So, what props are we looking for? Points, rebounds, assists, PRA, fantasy score, RA. What are we looking for points? So we're looking for low lines that we can snipe the overs on. So anything from like a 5 to 10 point line, we're gonna snipe the over on those guys. They're usually like the fourth or fifth best players on the starting lineup or the bench players. And if they're the bench players, it's okay. They just need to play at least like 15 plus minutes a game, shoot 5 plus field goals a game, and like just kind of like be involved in play and be a shooter. Like you don't want to be betting on a bench role player for points. We're trying to bet on the shooters. So if we're going under on people, we're looking for high PRAs, high point lines that we can snipe the under on. So like say Giannis, for example, like his point line's 32 and a half. We're gonna snipe the under on that. Luka Doncic, 33 and a half point line. We're gonna snipe the under on that. Um, those type of bets are usually money just because they only play so many minutes in a game. They play like 30, 35 minutes in a game. So they're only gonna have so many opportunities to score that many points. So we want to avoid going over on those type of lines for sure. So we want to limit our overs to 18 points. So 5 to 18 point range, we can go over on. Unders, we're looking for like 10 to 35 point range. So for example, if we have an 8.5 point line, and say they're projected like 11.5 points, we have a 3 point edge, on the over. So we're going to take the over there. Um, say, their line was 11 points and, say their line was 11 points and, we want to go over on them. But their projection is only 12. Then we're just gonna fade that and just not bet on that guy, just because we need a 2 plus point edge to be like profitable like 65-70% of the time, or be smacking that 65 to 70% of the time. So what you guys can do is get props.cash and then just kind of look at their different projections and find the edges like that. Um, but also another good way to do it, just look at their last 20 games. If they're hitting 70% of the time, their last 20 games, that means you got a 70% chance he's going to hit most of the time, unless it's like a really good defense or something like that, which does pop up. But yeah, like if they're hitting 70% last 20, like you probably get a 70% chance of them hitting. So we're gonna take those when we can. We want to shoot for like a 70% chance of hitting our each prop we're doing, just so we can be profitable and make a lot of money with this. So yeah, we want a 2 plus point edge in either direction. So we're gonna find out how many field goals a player takes. So are they shooting a lot? Are they a shooter? Or are they a role player? If they're a role player, we don't want to be betting on their points unless their line's really low. Is your player tall or big? Are they going up against a good defense? Look how many points their defense that they're going up against allows. See what rank they are. Um, how many minutes do they play? We're gonna figure out the score before the game with FanDuel. Just look at their total and the spread. You can also use the app, The Score. That app is really good for like information on their defense and like how many points they're scoring a game. So shout out to The Score for being a great app, better than ESPN. Um, but yeah, how many minutes are they playing? They need to be playing at least 15 minutes if they're on the bench. We're gonna have a whole different one for the bench points. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Rebounds, we're going for unders mostly. So unders, we're looking at a 6 to 14 rebound range. Overs, we're looking at like a 1 to 9 rebound range. But we're gonna be sniping over or unders mostly with like a 1 plus rebound edge. So we're gonna look at the matchup, kind of see how if it's a high scoring game. If it's a high scoring game, then there's gonna be a lot of rebounds. If they're fast paced players. Um, and then we're gonna snipe high lines, and then go under on them. So if we're seeing like a 12 and a half rebound like line, we're gonna be going under in that most of the time, unless it's like Sabonis. But yeah, we're gonna be going under in the high lines when we have a 1+ rebound edge. So say the line's 12 and a half, but they're projected 11 rebounds, then we're gonna go under on them. If they're projected 12, then we're just not gonna touch them. So that's kind of how we're thinking. When we're going over, like we're trying to snipe like low rebound lines for players that actually go for rebounds. So maybe like bench centers or bench power forwards or like a small forward, power forward on the starting lineup. We're gonna snipe the low lines. We want like a 1+ rebound edge, like going upwards. So their line's 4.5. The projected 6. We're going over for sure. So does your player go for rebounds? If you watch the games, you would know. But if you don't watch the games, like just kind of look at their position, look at their height, kind of just you kind of need to figure out like whether they go for rebounds or not because a lot of times the guards and like the shooting guards, small forwards, like they just play in the corners and the top of the key. They're not really involved on offensive rebounds, and when they get defensive rebounds, it's kind of lucky. It's just kind of lucky. So um, we need to see if they're going for rebounds. Are they like, is that their job? Are they a role player? If they're a role player, they're gonna get more rebounds. They're tall and big, they're gonna get more rebounds. How many minutes are they playing? They need to play like at least 20 plus minutes for you to be betting over on their rebounds. Who are the other rebounders on the court? Like, how good is their defense? Stuff like that is what we're kind of looking at for rebounds. Assists. Assists, we're going for unders mostly. So we're looking for like a 1+ assist edge. We're looking at the matchup, betting over on role players that pass a lot, like point guards, but or like bench point guards. So people that are dribbling the ball up the court are the types of people we're gonna go over on. Or we're gonna snipe like the 0.5 assist lines or the 1.5 assist lines on the centers. Just go over on those ones. Once again, we do need a one plus assist edge, so make sure we have the edge. Otherwise, we shouldn't be betting on it. So we're sniping high line, or like we can also snipe the high line. So like say Halliburton 11.5 assists. We're going under on that just because it's kind of ridiculous. Um, but yeah, we want a 1+ assist edge in either direction. How many minutes are they playing? If you're going over on them, you want to play at least 20 minutes. Is your player short? Does he pass a lot? These people get more assist. Is he bringing the ball up the court? These players get more assist. Is he a role player or a shooter? Role players get more assist. Stuff like that. So what are we looking for the RA? So these are like this is like a role player type of bet or like a star player. Like star players sometimes have low RA lines just because they're shooters, but they're playing a lot of minutes if they're the star player and they're going to be involved in a lot of the plays. So betting over on the star players RAs is usually good. High scoring means more RAs. Low scoring means less RAs. That's just rebounds, assists, obviously. But overs, we're looking for 6 to 15 rebounds assist range. Unders, we're looking for 9 to 28 rebound assist range. And we want a 1.5 rebound assist edge in either direction. So props that cash is going to tell you the edges and the projections. So definitely use props.cash. That is like the secret to um, finding data fast and finding just clean bar charts with all the information you need about basketball players. So how many minutes are they playing? You need them to play at least 20 minutes. Is your player tall? Does he go for rebounds? Is he a role player? Just simple questions you should be asking when you're finding RA bets. Um, ERA, we're going to be looking for unders on stars, um, especially when they're playing against good defense. Like we want to go under on the stars, just because their lines are crazy high. So we're going to find the high lines and go under. We're looking for like a 3+ PRA edge in either direction. So, like I said, once again, if you don't have a 3+ PRA edge, you don't want to be betting on it because it's more like a 50-50 bet if it's not that much of an edge. So if their edge is only like 1 PRA, then like we're not going to be touching that. We're just going to fade it. So if you like a player for points, and you're getting value in the RA, Bet over on the PRA. Um, is a game gonna be close or blowout? It's gonna be a blowout. The star players aren't gonna be playing at the end. Therefore, their PRA is gonna be less. Like the last shift is gonna be given to the bench players, so it's just something to keep in mind. Is the opposing defense good or bad? High or low scoring game? How many minutes are they playing? Is your player short? Is he passing? Is he a role player? Like these are questions you got to be asking, and you want to look at FanDuel again, look at like the spread and total just to kind of figure out whether it's gonna be a blowout or not, whether it's gonna be a high scoring game or not. And yeah, so what are we looking for on the bench players points? So this is gonna be the last slide, but we need to pick bench players with low lines. So any of these lines here, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5, they're all good to go over on. So as long as they're shooting at least 75% of their line in field goal attempts, then we're good. Um, so looking for like 5+ field goal attempts, and 15+ minutes played consistently. We want mostly overs here, especially on the blowouts. Unders on lines that are too high or like in close games, aren't really good for us. So like, I mean, they are good for us. Like we want unders that are just for like really like on bench players. Like we want unders on the games that are gonna be close. So if it's gonna be close, the bench players are only gonna get their two shifts. Like here are their shifts. So their shifts are like 4 minutes left in the first quarter, they come in, and then like 8 minutes left in the second quarter, they come out. The second shift, they're 4 minutes left in the third quarter, they come in. 8 minutes left in the third quarter or fourth quarter, they come out. And then if it's a blowout, they're gonna get this extra shift here at the end, the last like 5, 6 minutes. They're gonna get that shift as well. So on the blowouts, we want to be going over on the bench players. On the close games, we want to be going under on the bench players. But we still need a 2 point edge in either direction to be even considering the bet. So if it's a blowout, we're definitely going over on the bench players. Like they're supposed to win by 25. It's like Boston Celtics versus someone. We're going over on Peyton Pritchard. We're going over on Al Horford. We're going over on who's that? Sam Hauser. Like we're gonna be sniping those overs, especially when it's a blowout. So, how many minutes are they playing? So like 15+ is good, 20 is ideal, but we want a consistent 15 at least. Like if they're not playing consistently, if they're like getting like 5 minutes one game, 18 minutes the next game, 8 minutes the next game, we don't want to be betting on them. We need at least a 15+ minute consistent role. Um, so you got to be careful with bench players because sometimes they won't be getting any minutes and you'll just get fucked. So we need to make sure they're playing consistently. Is he a shooter? Is he a role player? We want to be better on the shooters. We want to be better on the people getting field goals up and at least trying to score. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this NBA player prop video. I hope you guys learned something. It's pretty much most of my knowledge on the different lines we got. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope this prepares you for the NBA and peace out.